Your car will not start. Someone shows up with a set of jumper cables, and it seems like the problem is solved. But one wrong connection can cause a short circuit, damage electronic components, or turn a weakened battery into a real hazard. The most dangerous part is that many people remember only an incomplete rule: red to red and black to black. In reality, the order, the ground point, and the type of vehicle matter just as much as the color of the cable. This video explains the general procedure for many 12-volt passenger cars. However, your specific car manual always takes precedence, as some cars use remote terminals, specific ground points, or completely different instructions. A 12-volt battery does more than power the lights. During starting, it must deliver very high current to the starter motor, while maintaining enough voltage for the vehicle's electronic control modules to operate. When voltage drops too low, the engine cranks slowly. You hear rapid clicking, or the lights dim. These signs point to a discharged battery or a poor connection. But if the engine cranks normally and still will not start, the problem may be somewhere else. Fuel, the immobilizer, fuses, ignition, or the electronic management system. Jumper cables do not solve every breakdown. Before connecting anything, inspect the battery. If it is cracked, swollen, leaking, giving off a strange smell, or maybe frozen, do not try to jumpstart it. A damaged battery can rupture or explode. Lead-acid batteries can release hydrogen, which is a flammable gas. That is why you should work with no cigarettes, flames, or sparks nearby, and eye protection is strongly recommended. Make sure both systems are compatible. A conventional passenger car uses a 12-volt source. Applying 24 volts to a 12-volt system can destroy the starter motor, the ignition system, and other components. Position the vehicles so they do not touch. Set the parking brakes. Select park in an automatic or neutral in a manual, and switch off the engines, lights, climate control, and accessories. The cables matter too. They should have insulated clamps, solid contact surfaces, and wire thick enough to carry starting current. Cables that are too thin can overheat and fail to deliver enough power. In many modern cars, the battery is not visible. It may be under a seat or in the trunk, while the manufacturer provides dedicated jumpstart terminals under the hood. If those terminals exist, use them instead of improvising another connection. Step 1. Connect one red clamp to the positive terminal of the dead vehicle. Look for the plus symbol and make sure the clamp bites onto clean, solid metal. Step 2. Connect the other red clamp to the positive terminal of the booster battery, or to the positive terminal of the donor vehicle's battery. Step 3. Connect the black clamp to the negative terminal of the booster battery. Step 4. Connect the final black clamp to the manufacturer-designated ground point on the vehicle with the dead battery. It is usually a stud or a solid metal part of the engine or chassis, located away from the battery. The final connection may produce a small spark. There is no need to panic if the spark is minor, but if it is large, disconnect the cable immediately because there may be a short circuit. If your vehicle has a start-stop system, or if you see a small battery sensor on the negative terminal, do not attach the clamp directly there. You could damage the sensor or prevent it from measuring current correctly. Use the designated ground point instead. Before starting, make sure the cables cannot fall onto belts, fans, or moving parts. An electric cooling fan can start running even if the engine appears to be off. Let's review the order. Positive on the dead vehicle, positive on the donor vehicle, negative on the designated ground point on the dead vehicle. 4 connections, no reversed polarity, and no allowing the clamps to touch. Before we continue, Tell me in the comments which method you were taught, connecting the black clamp to the dead battery's negative terminal, or using a remote ground point. Subscribe to Under the Wheels, because next we'll cover hybrids, EVs, and start-stop systems. With everything connected, start the donor vehicle if its owner's manual allows it to be used for jump starting. Some manufacturers recommend raising the engine speed slightly, but never rev it aggressively. Next, try to start the vehicle with the dead battery. Do not crank the starter for long periods. If it does not respond, stop, check the clamp connections, and follow the manufacturer's limit on starting attempts. A common reason for failure is poor contact, corrosion, paint, or a clamp. Hanging on by only one corner can prevent enough current from flowing. Another cause is cheap or worn-out cables. They may show continuity and still fail to carry the current needed to turn the starter motor. If the engine starts, do not rush to disconnect the cables. Let the system stabilize for the amount of time specified in the manuals of both vehicles. To disconnect the cables, follow the reverse order. First, remove the black lamp from the recovered vehicle's ground point, then the black clamp from the donor vehicle, then the red clamp from the donor vehicle, and finally, the red clamp from the recovered vehicle. While removing them, do not let the clamps touch each other or hit metal parts. The engine is already running, and one careless moment can cause a short circuit. The fact that the engine started does not mean the battery is charged. A short drive may not restore the energy used, especially with an aging battery, in winter, or in a vehicle with start-stop. After a deep discharge, the battery should be recharged and tested, along with a charging system. If the problem returns, the cause may be a worn-out battery, a faulty alternator, or a parasitic electrical draw while the car is parked. A jump start is only a temporary solution. If the battery is old, the engine cranks slowly, or the charging system warning light comes on, do not assume that driving for a while will fix the problem. A discharged battery may accept a charge. A degraded battery has already lost capacity and may start once with assistance, only to leave you stranded again at the next stop. Start-stop systems put the battery through far more cycles. They usually use AGM or EFB battery technology, along with electronic charge management. A discharge in one of these cars should not be treated like a simple vehicle from 30 years ago. On some vehicles, connecting the cables at the wrong point can prevent the battery sensor from measuring current correctly. That is why the manufacturer specifies dedicated jump start terminals and ground points. A hybrid also has a 12-volt auxiliary battery. This small battery powers the systems that allow the vehicle to enter ready mode. Jumper cables are never connected to the high-voltage battery. Do not touch orange cables, connectors, or components. They belong to the high-voltage system and are not part of a routine jump start procedure. Some hybrids have a dedicated jump start terminal for receiving power, but the manufacturer may specifically warn that it must not be used to jumpstart another vehicle. Electric vehicles can also become immobilized by a discharged low-voltage battery. Even if the main traction battery still has energy, the auxiliary battery may prevent the control systems from waking up or the high-voltage contactors from closing. And here, the rules change completely. Tesla, for example, states that its vehicles must not be used as donor vehicles to jumpstart another car, and it provides specific procedures depending on the low-voltage battery installed. In some EVs and plug-in hybrids, a jumpstart must also not be performed while the charging cable is connected. That is one more reason to check the owner's manual before improvising. A portable jumpstarter removes the need for a second vehicle, and many include reverse polarity protection, but it still has to be charged, properly sized for the engine, and connected exactly as instructed. I'll leave a purchase link in the comments, so you won't have to depend on a donor vehicle in an emergency. Cold weather also reduces the performance of these devices. Carrying a discharged jump starter in the trunk only creates a false sense of security. If you see smoke, smell a strong odor, notice abnormal heating, intense sparking, or the battery begins to deform, stop the operation and move away. Do not keep trying to prove that the car has to start. If the lights are bright and you only hear a solid click, the starter motor or its circuit may be faulty. Continuing to connect batteries will not fix a broken mechanical or electrical component. And if the engine cranks at normal speed, look for other clues. No fuel, an unrecognized key, a blown fuse, or a management system fault can leave the car stranded even with a perfectly capable battery. The 5 mistakes you need to remember are these: reversing polarity, creating the final spark next to a dangerous battery, using the wrong voltage, leaving cables near moving parts, and trying to start a damaged or frozen battery. And the general order for many 12-volt cars is red to the discharged positive, red to the auxiliary positive, black to the auxiliary negative, and black to the ground point indicated on the discharged car. After the engine starts, remove the cables in reverse order. Ground from the recovered vehicle, negative from the donor vehicle, positive from the recovered vehicle. But the most important rule does not fit into a 4-color phrase. Check the owner's manual. Battery location, system design, and whether the car can be used as a donor all vary from one model to another. If the car starts again, use that opportunity to investigate the cause. Batteries do not discharge for no reason. The cause may be age, repeated short trips, a weak alternator, or an electrical accessory that remains active while the car is parked. Good jumper cables, eye protection, an accessible owner's manual, and a charged jump starter can turn an inconvenient breakdown into a controlled operation. Tell me in the comments what your worst experience with a dead battery has been. Subscribe to Under the Wheels to learn useful practical car knowledge without turning a simple fix into a much more expensive breakdown.